BlocksCAD skills. Parametric design using variables. As your projects get more involved, BlocksCAD offers a variety of ways to manage and control your designs. By using variables, we can create general models that can be easily modified and evolved. To demonstrate this, let's make a pipe whose size can be changed using variables. To make the outside or shell of the pipe, first bring out a cylinder and change the height to 30 millimeters. We'll need a second cylinder in order to cut out the pipe's center, so let's copy the shape we already have by right-clicking and selecting Duplicate. With Radius 1 and Radius 2 locked, we'll select a smaller number for the inside hollowed-out part of our pipe. 8 should work. Since both shapes will be drawn on top of each other, to help us see these cylinders, let's bring out a color block from the Transform menu tab and make the inside cylinder yellow. Render, and now you can see both shapes, with the same length but different radii. Now, to cut the hole in the center of the pipe, we'll need a difference block from the Set Operations category. We'll subtract the skinny cylinder from the wider cylinder. Hit Render, and we've just created a pipe. To make a pipe of any size, we'll need to use variables. Let's start by creating a variable that sets the length of the pipe. Click on the Variable menu tab and pull out a variable setter. We can name our variable by clicking on the drop-down menu, selecting New Variable, and typing a helpful and memorable name, like length. Next, take out a number block from the Math category. For now, let's set it to 30, just like our original pipe. To be able to use this variable, bring out the block for length from the Variables category and replace the two height values, like this. Now, we can see that our pipe is no longer a fixed value of 30 millimeters long, but can be described as being height long, where the height can be set to whatever value you want. Render, and everything stays the same because the value we currently have for height is the same 30 millimeters as we had before. But if we change the value of the height variable to 20 millimeters, that new length is passed to our design, and you'll see our pipe is now 10 millimeters shorter than before. Now that we have a variable that controls height, let's create one to control how thick our pipe is. We'll follow a similar process. Go to the Variables category and get another Variable Setter block. Click on the drop-down menu and select New Variable. Then set the name to Inner Radius. This value will represent the size of the inside area of our pipe. Grab a number block from the Math menu, snap it into our new variable, and we'll start with the same inside radius of 8 millimeters. This time, though, instead of taking our inner radius value from the Variables menu tab, we can right-click and directly select Create Get Inner Radius, like this. Now, because the inside width of the open area of the pipe is defined by the inner cylinder's radii, we'll replace those two values with this new block. How should we think about the radius of the outer cylinder? Well, it should be bigger than the inner cylinder, so we'll get an arithmetic block from the Math category and create the expression inner radius plus 2. Now, just duplicate and replace the current fixed values for the inner radius with this new definable value block. Now, the outer radius will be whatever the inner radius is plus 2, meaning the wall thickness of the pipe will be 2 millimeters. Here's a tip. If your blocks are getting too long to manage and read easily, you can change the way the inputs are arranged. Right-click on the cylinder and select External Inputs. This transforms the block to be more square. You can get back to the original shape by right-clicking and selecting Inline Inputs. Now, this model can make a pipe of any length and any inner radius, just by changing the values in the variable blocks like this. We call this a parametric model because in this way you can change the parameters or measurements of a model just by changing the variable values. You can watch this skills video again, or, to practice what you've just learned, launch BlocksCAD and start building.